August has been truly a patience testing month. With all-time highs on Bitcoin and Ethereum, we have 2 days left into September and everything's selling off. Crypto is so painful right now, but thank God September is on the horizon. Maybe good things are coming. Interest rate cuts are being talked about. GDP numbers coming in, PCE numbers coming in. Markets are moving. Stocks are at all-time high. Gold is looking to make a move. Silver breaking out right now. Man, it's a time. It's a time. We're heading into the end of the year, and typically in our 4-year cycle, this is where we've seen Bitcoin and altcoins take off. And really, when you zoom out, it looks like we're just on the right timeline, like we're on the right path. We're here today. It's Friday. I don't have that much to look at. Certainly, we have things going on in the crypto space. I believe PYTH and Link getting some big news today. Maybe they'll have a narrative-driven rally. CRO was pumping on our last stream. We're just going to take a look at it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Who's that guy? That's definitely AI. Definitely AI, man. Holy. Happy Friday, everybody. That's all we've got. All we've got is that it's Friday and that we're here together. And geez, we have gone through a roller coaster of emotions. Something playing. Roller coaster. Over this month. I think that was someone outside. August started off red. We pumped to all-time highs. We retook our August open, and we fell back down below it, retook it again, fell back down below it, and now here we are, 2 days and 7 hours, Bitcoin trading under 110K, and just like, where's the magic? Where's the fun? Where's the anything? I don't know. Hopefully that's hiding in September. I was a little bearish on September. Earlier this month, people were talking about interest rate cuts coming in September, as we've been saying, and they're saying, is this pump pricing in? What's up, my friend? Is it pricing in those interest rate cuts? And at the time, I said, it certainly looks like it, right? We're basically at all-time highs, where we were on Bitcoin. Ethereum was hitting all-time highs, all kinds of movement in the market. And it's crazy how quickly that's reversed. Now, markets are still pricing in, or at least prediction markets are looking at like a 90+% chance of interest rate cuts in September. Doesn't look like we're pricing that in, though. Maybe the market doesn't quite believe it, or maybe the market is not convinced that an interest rate cut is what it needs or is bullish, something like that. But as I was saying, I was pretty bearish on September. That's when we were at all-time high. Now, August trading down red, and we could go back and look at previous Augusts and Septembers. Trading red here, almost bearish engulfed. So in 2 days, basically, we just want to hold on to 107K or something like that in the next 2 days. But with August closing red realistically, September could open up to be a more bullish month than I expected. This is really going to just game theory, speculation. Please don't take this financial advice. I'm probably not even going to take this bet. My longs feel like shit right now. Absolutely feel terrible. This is the second time this month that I've woken up and been like, maybe I should close my longs. Maybe I should just walk away from my longs. Walk away from leverage for now. Wait until the weather's a little clearer. But I didn't do anything. I didn't make any changes. I'm feeling much better about closing some of that Ethereum at all-time high, basically. Now we're back down. Here's kind of the only hope I have here. The only hope, right? I mean, I still believe there's all-time highs coming in this year. So take this as a zoomed in perspective. The hope we have in the short term. The weekly has tested the 20 moving average right here within a fraction of a percent. We could see a little bit lower, obviously, over the weekend. Low volume trading into the August close. But this is the short term hopium, is that we bounce from the 20 week. You can see going back in this rally that we have commonly lost the 20 and tested the 50 before making our next leg up. In fact, we even did that in April of this year. We lost the 20, tested the 50, moved to all-time high. The hopium is that the 20 holds this week. September rolls around and we get green. We get a bounce. I could see this as kind of the parabolic warm up to a blow off top in Q4. Skipping the 50 weekly test, finding support higher at the shorter moving average, building that parabola. I hate that word. Basically painting higher highs on our moving averages and looking to make a more explosive move to the upside. If that doesn't happen, if we just continue selling off today, into the weekend, into September, the logical next move is looking down at the 50 week. That's at 95,000. I think a good estimate would be a 95 to like 100,000, 101, about a 5% range. That's where I'd be looking for support next if this continues, right? 101 on the week even is where we started rallying in June, and that's kind of a shitty place to return to. We haven't seen retracements from higher highs like this yet in the run. It wouldn't be out of character for the Bitcoin bull run, but I'm hoping we don't. That really could put a plug on some of this momentum, probably into Q4 if we explore down here. Now, I'm not saying that any of this would happen overnight. This could happen into the first 2-3 weeks of September. Maybe we see some sideways, a failed high, lower low, something like that. But man, it is incredible how quickly that all-time high came and passed and then was just gone, right? The excitement lasted for all of like 0 seconds. This is really weak bidding action. All-time high, profit takers came in, sold it off. Barely a dead cat bounce on the 22nd, last Friday. We're actually almost in an inverted candle of last Friday. Maybe that means we have 3 more green days ahead. Fingers crossed. Barely even a bounce. Broke your lows, traded lower, barely a bounce again yesterday, and now here we are one more time. Looking downward, you also see the 200 daily moving average at 101. That's that same weekly level. I think that this is a logical place to look. I'm not making bets on it. Why? I don't know. Maybe I should. I'm not making bets on it. I probably should. I've said that a lot lately. But there's just a lot of confluence down here. You see the 200 day. You see the 50 week. When we throw our fib tool on our swing low this month to swing high, the measured move target, our 2, sits right there at 101. This is just kind of a clear-cut opportunity if price makes it there to reposition. That's kind of how I'm feeling about it. This chart really couldn't look any shittier. It looks so shitty, man. Hopefully that means we're close to the bottom. You see daily support. We had that double bottom earlier in August, the failed rally, sold off below, and then yesterday literally rejecting from that previous support, acting as resistance at 112.5K, sending us barreling down. Yay, bull market. Yay, lots of fun. Bitcoin, what are you doing, buddy? Get your shit together. Get your shit together. Ethereum equally kind of poopy, but a little slower here to the cut, a little slower to the punch. Also testing, well, it's 20 daily, coming back down to our entry at 4,200. Dang. You can't see there's an open candle there, meaning just a big green bodied candle without a wick or without further price action kind of filling it in, starting at 4,200, then again at 4,000. We had discussed this play when we were rallying to all-time highs at 3,750. I think that this still is on the table. I think that's still on the table. If Bitcoin does sell off down into the lower 101, this is probably a decent spot to look for an Ethereum bounce. This was really an untested support after it was broken earlier this month. Everything happened this month. Untested as support. This would be a great spot to look to bounce and basically continue the rally upwards. I mean, Ethereum, here's the reality of it. Put on a lot of gains in a very short time period. That's it. From April to last week, over the course of 3 months, traded almost 300% up. 250% up is a crazy amount of percent. To see some kind of pullback wouldn't be crazy. Basically just cooling off after making such a powerful move. I think that this is likely, if we see continued weakness in Bitcoin. I'll likely take that trade. What I think I might do is the profit I took at all-time high, I may look to re-enter at 3,750 if it comes. I think that would be pretty cheeky play. Then maybe stop out the whole position at 3,400 if it hits. Some of the other stuff on our radar. CRO on the last stream did make more gains. It continued moving into Thursday, moving up another 50%, but now back down to where Thursday left us. I still like the 15-cent entry. I still think 15 cents is eventually in its future. This is just starting to smell like every pump and dump we've ever seen, right? A little narrative, a little Trump, I don't know, CDC partnership pump, and then sell off. Also, I read afterwards, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, did crypto.com unburn tokens for this? That's what I heard. I read that somewhere, and I don't give a shit enough to actually go look. But it wouldn't surprise me, because a lot of people here remember a coin called Monaco. It's like MACO. The ticker was MCO. That's what CRO used to be. It was MCO, and then they like migrated it and like did all this crap with it, basically leaving people with coins that were useless at the end if they didn't like do the right steps, rebranding it to CRO. Like, the people behind this coin, crypto.com, like almost every centralized coin, just like cannot be trusted. We've seen a history of this. I do not think this is a good thing to jump into while it pumps. If you get in at 15, maybe you can make that run to 50. I think that's a play that's possible. You're going to have to see the rest of the market heat up. But so far, this is looking kind of just like every other pump and dump, isn't it? It's like you get a rally, you wake up, and now you're coming back down to earth. Hopefully people didn't get too burned on this. I don't even remember what I said about it on Wednesday. But likely I was skeptical. Still am. Be careful out there. Don't get wrecked over this stuff. Right into the end, to the 9th inning. Don't get wrecked. Was it PYTH? Here we go. Something about PYTH, something about Link. I don't know. Putting data on the blockchain, cool. I don't know. Putting data on a blockchain that's not Bitcoin, I don't know how I feel about that. For like data to be immutable on a blockchain, the blockchain has to be decentralized. I don't really know about PYTH, so I'm not going to comment, but in the majority of the chains, I want to say in the top like 100, the decentralization is not quite there. There are absolutely somewhere it is. Obviously Bitcoin, not going to make a list, but putting data on an immutable blockchain only is immutable if the blockchain itself is sufficiently decentralized. I don't know about Link. Doesn't seem to be at all caring about that news. Maybe it was PYTH then. You guys know better than I do. If this was announced today, wow, insider trading. And if it was announced yesterday, that might make some sense. This candle closed up 100%. Honestly, looking just like the CRO pump at this point. Boom. Little double top coming back down. Chart values, bar change values. There we go. 36% in an hour. 17% an hour after that, all the way up to 21 cents, which is interesting because even when you pump and dump, which is maybe it's doing, maybe it's not, it's interesting that you still respect the chart. This 21 cents comes from all the way in the beginning of 2024. It was the low into your all-time high that you eventually lost into the start of this year. Now coming back to test that as resistance. Closing underneath 21 cents is probably a really bad sign. Probably a sign that you're looking to make a play much lower. And what's also interesting is this looks remarkably like the price action right before it. Back here in May. Look at this. Inverse head and shoulders, rally to 21 cents, reject sell off. This is looking pretty inverse head and shoulders-y as well. It's very similar price action right to the same value. I would not be long in this here. Absolutely not. But I understand. It's like, well then Tom, what are we longing? Dude, I don't know, man. Longs, the market has been bullish for years, yet longs are so unproductive in so many ways as they just don't close. They just stay open. You're just holding them for months and months and months, and then by the time you get bored of them, the market moves again, and then you're holding it for months, getting eaten up in your position. Your R size higher. Careful with these. I said it about CRO on Wednesday, and I will admit CRO continued pumping. But always be skeptical of everything in this space that pumps while the rest of the market is not moving, or while the rest of the market is selling off. That play is so old, so used in crypto for just grabbing liquidity, basically playing off of our boredom, off of our frustration in the space. It's like, oh, are you bored? Are you like annoyed with this? Well, here's something that's gonna, here's like a pretty green candle. Look at the jingly shiny keys right over here. Jingly shiny keys. Buy this. And then it's like you're buying the top and you're just watching it sell off forever. Be careful. This is very predatory times in this space. I'm probably going to pull it over to chat. I didn't even want to do like a real intro warm up. I just wanted to like vibe. Total holding on by a hair. Not a great close. We talked about this being weakened as support, and it's looking like it's happening. While we are still high above August's low on total, this looks like shit. Like, what is happening here? What is actually happening? If you're freaking out about a position today, I would take a deep breath and wait. I would wait until the weekend is over. While I'm still not really sure how I feel about September, this current sell-off, this downside that we've seen over the last like 2 weeks, is very likely to reverse as soon as September starts. And when I say reverse, what I mean is it's very likely to at least see that local trend, you know, the bleeding, just bounce. Not, you know, who knows how far that bounce will take it, if it'll meaningfully break resistance or not, but like just bounce and look to relief a little bit. Why? That just seems to be how it works. Seems to be how it works. It's like when the market is trending in one direction and you get a big time frame change, even if it's going to continue selling into that next candle, it almost always just initially reverses, kind of catches people off guard, gets them to think something is, you know, going to change in this month, and then, you know, follows course the rest of the time. Interesting charts here today is actually silver. Silver with a strong 2.2% move today, which is actually pretty big for silver. More importantly, breaking July's high, making a higher high here after a beautiful, strong base was built. 41.50 on deck. It's a shame this didn't fill. On deck, if not higher. It's kind of interesting that metals are moving. I think when metals are moving like this, because we're going to look at gold too briefly, I think this is suggesting that markets are not really looking for inflation to cool. And that makes sense after today's PCE. 2.9%. Core PCE, 2.9%. Not at the 3% target. 2% target. Yeah, why don't we just make it a 3% target? That would fix our problems. If we would already be there at our target if we just made it a 3% target. Reminds me of those realtor signs that are like, if you lived here, you'd be home already. Maybe the Fed should take a bite out of that book. Check it out. S&P hit all-time highs yesterday, cooling off. Nothing really to worry about at this moment, but it is the last day of trading for August. So when the S&P closes in 2 hours, it will finalize what is very realistically another green candle in a row. I'm looking for 7K. I might have to go back to the drawing board on this one. Looking for 7K. What else is there to look at? Hype hit all-time high on Wednesday. Predictably sold off. Dude, this is like the cycle of hitting all-time highs and selling off. This is a cycle of no price discovery. I swear I hope that changes. Basically, we saw it on XRP. We saw it on Solana. We saw it on Ethereum for now. Hype just did it, hit all-time high, sold off. Bitcoin's been doing it all year. I want to talk to the manager. Anyway, I want to talk to the manager. Can anybody get me the manager? I'm pulling up the chat. Enough of me just ranting. It's Friday. It's Friday and you're here and I'm here and we're all here, even though, I don't know, there's probably more exciting stuff to be doing today. Thank you for being here. Please, really quick, I'm going to shill this. Quick, check to see if you've hit the like button on the stream. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're in our Discord. Check out our exchange partner, PYTH. Sign up. Start trading there. They're a great exchange. Yeah. That's it. Now I just want to go to the chat. What about AXL? I have no idea, dude. Cycle of just the tip. I like that, Mike. How you doing, Mike? Can the devs do something? Yes, please. Can't wait for green days in September. Babyface, you're right. Oh, you guys voted for me to keep the beard and I made an executive decision. It was just bothering me. It was too, no one tells you about this. It was just overstimulating, you know? Like one, just like touching it, but all those hairs all the time, like rubbing against each other and then rubbing against your skin. It was just overstimulating. I'll bring it back again in the winter for sure. But I cut it off and I was like, this feels amazing. Feels great. Skate or die, bro. Nostalgic, you've been subscribed for 3 years. Here's the 3 more, bro. Looks nice. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you. Appreciate it. Crypto Knight, like, sub, smash. Maybe buy those V-shaped recoveries. Where are the B-shaped recoveries? Beards are for bear markets. A beard market. I like that. Beard market. Especially wearing those other shades. Tom with beard. Tom with beard. 4 to 6 weeks red candle coming. Like the weekly reversing bearish. No beard triple. That's right. So I only buy yield projects. Get paid weekly every week without fail. I mean, you know, they're yield projects. You know, I'm glad that you're comfortable in them. Glad you're comfortable in them. I'm skeptical that long-term anything that yields can perform, or at least like perform like a crypto. I mean, look at MicroStrategy. Well, regular strategy or whatever these new things are issuing with their yield and their dilution. That's the same thing. Anything with yield is just diluting. And when you dilute, you give out free supply. When you give out free supply, you create resistance. I'm skeptical, you know. I certainly have some stuff staked and whatnot, but like, I believe that staking long-term or yield long-term results in the asset not performing or not performing with market, not keeping up. That's how I feel. That's my opinion. I mean, I get it though. I wish I could just have all yield, not have to worry about any volatility. The big issue though, and I'm going to rant here for a second, with yield is you're being yielded in the native assets. So like you stake ETH, you get ETH, right? But if ETH doesn't go up, if ETH doesn't stay sideways, right? If it goes down, there's a very realistic scenario that your yields are just are worth less and less, right? Like, and that yield isn't a real yield percent. You're tied to the price of the asset. It's the appreciation. I don't know. I think there's a place in a portfolio for all kinds of things, and yield is definitely one. What's up, Jets? Why bother DCing into alts for 2.5 years when they're all shit? We should have waited. Fair, true. Jet makes a good point. You know, why have you been DCing into alts for 2.5 years? I don't know. I'm not sure who told you to do that. I'm sure the people on YouTube. In my defense, I have never suggested to anyone that they DCA into anything other than Bitcoin in crypto. Every time I've talked about DCAing, I've pretty much made the caveat, if it's Bitcoin. I don't trust these other things. Fucking ARB. Let me close all these, close more tabs. I don't trust these other projects long term like that. CME cock blocking us also. Look at this. Yesterday, just touching into that gap. Everyone was so sure it was going to fill. Touching into the gap, 14.2. Still a big gap open. Maybe September, like Monday, maybe September opens to 16, 17 right here, right? fills the gap, and then we'll see. Not a bad place to look like for rejection too. Lower low in September. What's up, Das Peachin? How you doing, bro? PYTH G alerts. Gold is up. Yes, gold is up. I didn't look at the chart too much, mostly because this is just like the what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th time gold's been at this level on the day. Yes, it's been putting in higher lows. Yes, I think gold is going to break out. It looks like it's going to break out into September. Like, this is a very strong approach, right? Every time we're hitting this, it's weakened. This is a great way to do it. If gold doesn't sell off in 3 hours, it does kind of look like it's broken the curse. I think that September can be a very good month for gold. Very good month. One thing, though, that is on my mind is gold has reached its measured move target from this huge retracement, 2011 into 14. Measured move target's like 5, or no, sorry, not 5K. 3.5. It's pretty much reached it. Of course, it can keep going. You know, these fibs don't determine where it has to stop or something. But it is a weird, uncomfortable place to look to buy. Right at that measured move target. Typically not my play. If you are bullish on gold for a year plus, 5K is a great target. I don't think I'm a buyer at 3.5 though. I think I've missed the boat. So I'm just going to walk. God, Bitcoin, catch some bids. Bitcoin dominance is the only story you're even looking at. All of them predicted a bad September. Sold this month already and buy back higher. True. But those same people were predicting a good August. And it has not been a good August. Let me see who's here. What's up, Wick? How you doing, brother? Brother Wick, how are you? How are you and your wife? Wiley Coyote. 777. Ronald Grump. Nice name. Rock People. One with Nature. Novocaine, you're back, bro. How you doing? Nostalgic. Mr. Blank. What's up, bro? Mike Bennett. Craig. Josh Kennington. A lot of the core audience here today. What's up, boys? Where's Foxy? Where's George Aval? Where are the other boys? Where's everybody at? Bjorn, Crypto Arrow, Deruve, Escar, ICG, Josh, Alexander G, Bjorn, Crypto Knight. What's up, everybody? What are we looking at? What are we looking at? What are you looking at? What it do? How you doing? Right there's Foxy. There he is. I knew if I said his name, it would summon him. What's up, Kato, Carlos, Tiger? Now everybody jumps out of the woodwork. Do I ever trade PYTH G Bitcoin? I have in the past, yeah. Actually, PYTH G was one of the only assets that I lost on Celsius. Was maybe my biggest loss on Celsius. I put all my PYTH G on Celsius. Wifey misses you, bro. Gotta hit that next con. Yeah, I don't even know when that's gonna be. I don't even know when. Like, I guess the next Bitcoin conference is like May of next year in Vegas. They're just, dude, this is the thing also. Like, this is a strange look at the space, but this is obviously how I see it is. Like, we are 4 years out from 2021. In 2021, the conferences were going nuts. Wild, bro. Like, that's like the whole BitBoy fallout craziness started then. And like that, the conferences, there's so many conferences. I was getting invited to all these things. And then here we are 4 years out. Price is more than double. Oh, that's cool. More than double. And like, there's just nothing going on. There's just so little in the event space. There's like Bitcoin Amsterdam and Hong Kong, but like, I don't know, like no one's talked to me about going to them. No offers. It's weird. It is very weird. Super weird even. Bitcoin PYTH G. I hate this. But it kind of looks like it wants to return to the trend. It's like a 16% move. That would mean gold rallies 16%, unlikely. Bitcoin moves down and gold rallies more likely. Recharge headset. Screw you, headset. I'm not even gonna wear you. Let's see what's going on here. This looks so strong. Gold looks so good against Bitcoin right now. Holy moly. 200 day. $200 week. It's your 200, your 50 week, your 20 day, there's a 200 day. Not so much higher. I could see this retrace a little bit after testing there, but this is pretty juicy up here. This trend line's so clean. When you invert this chart, it's easier for me to view, at least. This looks so bad. It's like high, rejected. Everything's so limp. It barely broke its all-time high versus 21. Bitcoin really not performing. Not performing against gold this cycle, which is very weird. Look at this expansive move. Obviously, this was off the back of 2020. You know, there was stuff going on. Made like 1,000% move against gold. This run from bottom of the top 350. Barely even a move. Barely even a move. We're so spoiled. Gold versus Bitcoin already bearish engulfed on the month. Looks like it's going to close that way. Last time we got a bearish engulf in the month, it continued into the next month. Yeesh. So much just looks like shit. This cycle sucks. It really does. What's up, baby? Did I miss someone? What's up, J-Matt? I used to trade PYTH Gold more, or PYTH Bitcoin more. I probably should get back into it though, considering the volatility on it's been good. Also, I see a kind of unique advantage to trading PYTH Gold. God, I keep saying that, PYTH Gold. PYTH Bitcoin. There's a unique advantage to trading PYTH Bitcoin that I really like over a dollar pair. So when you trade any pair, there is the possibility that you get stuck on one side of the trade, right? You sell too much and you end up with all of your assets on one side of the trade. So you sell too much Bitcoin, you end up with no Bitcoin and just dollars. Or you buy too much Bitcoin, you have no dollars, you have all Bitcoin. And I've always liked that trade-off, right? Of, well, if I just keep buying Bitcoin, I'd rather have Bitcoin than dollars. That's a no-brainer. Obviously, dollars are guaranteed loss. What I like about PYTH Bitcoin is in that same idea and scenario, you end up getting stuck in gold versus the dollar. That's the only trade-off. And I feel like that makes more sense. Gold has been explosive over the last year or two, and maybe we'll continue that. There was a lot of big chart shattering things that went on in the last 2 years with gold that could suggest that it's got maybe a pretty fancy decade ahead of it. And in that scenario, it's like maybe it makes more sense, or maybe some of my portfolio, it would make sense to take that trade-off of like, okay, maybe I get stuck in gold more than I'm comfortable. And I think I like that more than dollars. The only advantage to dollars obviously would be they're liquid. I think PYTH USD is likely a liquid enough pair for my use. It's nice that you get stuck in dollars, you can withdraw them easily. But really you're just adding in one more step of, all right, I just got to liquidate the PYTH and then withdraw them. So that's where my brain's at when it comes to that. I should get back more into it. I kind of just forgot about it because the volatility just didn't seem to be there for a while. What's up, rock people? God, who else did I miss? David Middleton. Retail doesn't exist anymore. Why would they be here, you know? There's just nothing that would bring them here. Nothing, none of this is retail-y. There was only one, maybe 2 points of this rally where retail at all stepped in, and it's predictable. It's on this long string of up. Retail steps in when retail sees number go up over and over and over and over again, and they say, I put my money in, it just keep going up. It's just going to keep doing this, right? That's what attracts retail, is these runaway back-to-back-to-back gains. There was a little bit of it here, I'd say, in February of last year as well. But this cycle, every single time, and this is my favorite example to kind of drive this home, is every time we hit a high, it sells off. And we do eventually end up going higher, but there's very little of this. Very little of this back to back to back. This actually was like maybe the ETF hype where a little retail stepped in, but I kind of doubt it. Every time we get a new move, it sells off. Waits around. Kind of almost until that hope dissipates, and then it moves again. Retail's never, like, there's a scenario where retail never joins if we just continue to see that. But we continue to see that, we're in that scenario, we don't need retail, right? Because it's just going up. We don't need retail. Maybe we never did. You compare that to the last cycles, and you can see, oh yeah, I see why retail got in. It would move up and up and up and day and day and day and day and day. Yeah, it didn't, it retraced also. But look at these strings, these kind of like sprees. This is what brings retail in. This is what shakes them out. This is what brings them in. By the time we got to here in January of 21, retail was like very fed up and chilling out. But then by the time we hit February, boom, they're right back in. They see the green candle, they see the up. I don't know. I think what we have to kind of keep in our equation is that retail hasn't been here. Yet Bitcoin has hit 124,000. It's 2x the previous all-time high. Maybe we don't need them. Maybe retail isn't important. If they are important, maybe that's even better. That means maybe we have even higher highs to go. You have bigger moves to make if their money does matter and that it's going to eventually come. I don't know. It's weird. Hugh Crown, what's up, Two Big Paws? XRP looks sad. I didn't want to look at it. Just like keeps retesting support. You made 20K last night shorting? Get it, buddy. Get it. Get it, dude. XRP just keeps retesting support. It does not look good. Like, just keeps retesting. 282. You might be building the bull div on like low time frames here at the low. But look at this. I don't like this at all. RSI stuck under 50. That is not bullish. This is not a bullish time. Like the last time XRP's daily RSI was stuck under 50 was back here. And yeah, I know immediately you're going to say, but look at what happened after. Yeah, but like this is a one-off because the rest of the time XRP's RSI was stuck under 50. It wasn't moving. Oh, I wasn't on the right. I wasn't actually where I thought I was on the chart. It blew up. Yeah, like down here was consolidating sideways, stuck under 50. I actually thought I was looking at this price action. Same thing, like stuck under 50. That's not what you want. Stuck under 50 is not a good signal of like big run moving coming. Like this is weirdly weak behavior, especially for after how strong it's been. I'm not comfortable with it. I really don't like, guys, I keep bringing this up. I really don't like how we've seen coins break all-time high and then just sell off and not do anything. We haven't seen a single coin, I guess outside of Bitcoin, but even Bitcoin hasn't really done it, break all-time high and just run like we've seen in the cycles before. You can point to some new coins, yeah, like, shit that launched this year, that's low market cap, sure. But like we haven't seen anything in the space like of any size really meaningfully do this, and it's uncomfortable. It's not a good position to be in. I just want to see one of them do it. Like if Ethereum had blasted off to like even like 6K or something, they'd be like, all right, we're good. We're not seeing anything do it. It's perhaps just weirdly still not alt season, even though we've lost dominance. Bitcoin's lost dominance. It's still weirdly not alt season. I think maybe we got something like this coming. I haven't given up hope. Maybe I've given up hope of like 74, but I haven't given up hope of still like a little higher high. Maybe this is still on the horizon. And what does that mean for the cycle? I don't know. It's very strange. The whole thing's getting very strange. I have to pee. Holy shit. I did my 2-mile run with a group last night and I did the best that I've ever done. I was pretty proud. I had to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna get up really quick. Don't go anywhere. If I don't go to the bathroom right now, I'm gonna have to end the stream early. Give me 2 secs. Ugh, that hit me. All right. You missed me. I missed you. Ugh. Ugh. What a day. Another week coming to an end. Another red. Jump scare, that's right. Did I get kidnapped? That's right. I did, yes. By the bathroom. We're proper effed. You saw my butt? That's okay. It's okay. Don't report me. Up over the weekend? I wouldn't be surprised to see it go up over the weekend. You have another 45K you want to get into Dogecoin. You'd like to get it cheaper. I mean, it's pretty cheap. Really hasn't run, which to me is some kind of signal that we got more upside to go. There's just a lot of coins that, you know, I might not even expect to like break all-time high or do anything absolutely nutty, but just haven't even really moved off of their lows. And man, I can't imagine a scenario where they don't just move off their lows, like retest all-time high or at least get close. You know, we saw a lot of coins not break their previous cycle highs, but they did get close, like virtually all of them. There's just seemingly a whole phase of this market that hasn't happened yet, that has happened in the previous runs. Running out of time. My load. If Elon integrates with DEX, Doge will run. I wouldn't hold my breath on that, man. It seems like, I don't know what. If he wanted to do that, they would have done it. Like, whatever even happened with Elon and Doge, like the government efficiency thing, like, just forgot about it. Just, I don't know. which was like totally odd that he would name it after the Dogecoin, like specifically, and then like not even do anything about Doge. It's very strange. It's very strange. I don't think Doge needs it though. What's up, Donkey Dan? I'll pull it up. PYTH did something out of nowhere. Wasn't PYTH one of the ones with like, I don't know, the recent news narrative? ENA wrecked ENA wrecked my long. Rejected from the entry. Yikes. Yikes. What's up, 𝐒𝐚𝐫𝐭 I see you guys subscribe. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. To the cool side of the pillow. He didn't have a bad month. Up 13%. 113% last month. Man, that trade was good though. Sometimes you just get skunked, right? I thought that trade was good. Now look at like 59 cents. You lose all of this and you're back here. That's what a lot of charts look like. Got an open carry as right, boy. Talk about Crow, yeah. We talked about Crow. Crow hype already wearing off. I still think this is the play for Crow. We have taken better positions. For me, it's like if Crow gets back to 8 cents, I don't want it again. Like, I don't want it down here again. I do not want to see this. That's actually pretty uncommon too. I could take it at 15. If I'm already in a position, I still like 50 to 55 cents. I still think that this is possible, even before the 15 cent. I probably wouldn't be looking for a position up here as a long. I think you want to be more patient. You can already see it's down 30-ish% from its high. You're just chasing. You're chasing so hard if you're buying in here looking for that 50 cents. You're like desperate. And I think that's what this move is like playing off right now. It's kind of the desperation in the space of all the pain, all the slow movement, the lack of euphoria, the lack of good vibes. I mean, maybe we'll find out in the next week. You know, maybe the next week will give us some clarity, because this is actually a pretty beastly reversal. The last time we got this similar signal, though, was right at the top. Yeah, right at the top of this last kind of similar looking rally. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. If you already were in Crow, like if you, for God's sakes, if you took this long, like anywhere in the last 2 years or whatever at 8 cents, you're in a great position. I would look to lock in some profit. You know, I'd look to lock in some profit for sure. But I think if I had entered at 8, I still would be holding on to some of the position for at least like the 50 cent mark. I don't know about higher. This is old moon math. Don't pay attention to that. We got some overheated. Coming back down, cooling off. Maybe we should throw the fib. 20 cents. I do see some confluence at 20 cents. If you're looking for a scalp, I think you look for the long here right now with the stop below 24 and change. And you're just playing off. You're looking for like this and backwards in time. But I don't love that trade. Dude, I think taking like the scalp longs right now are just the suicide game. Don't put too much trust in indicators. Don't put too much trust in anything in that case. There's nothing you can trust. Any other alerts? Silver, Sol had a good run. Had like 220. Back down. TP'd CRO BTC. Let's go. I should look at that again. Good run. Yikes. Dude, today the charts look just so shitty today. I woke up and I was like, I don't really want to stream. These charts look so crappy. That being said, oftentimes when I feel that way, oh, Pickle, let's fucking go. Pickle, let's go. Let's go. Please, you anyone who TP'd CRO BTC. Wow. Well done. Well done. Well done. Wednesday, boom. Boom. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It did break to a higher high. So we'll see. We'll see if we can catch a low bid, but that's a beautiful trade, man. 25%. Hell yeah. See if we can catch a higher low bid. Because that is an uptrend. That is a rather V-shaped uptrend. Nice. That's fire. That's fire. Well done. They do XRP already? Yeah, it looks crappy. Am I taking profits on Bitcoin? What's up, Echo? I am going to wait. So here's what I woke up this morning and I was like, damn, I should close my long. I think the last time I woke up and thought that was like, well, last time I thought that, I think that was like Pico right here on the 21st at the daily close. And I was like, yeah, I should close everything. And it rallied. I mean, it's gone lower since, but like last time I had this feeling, like identical feeling, it was as low as it went for a while. Yeah. It was like a swing low. I'm going to wait until September opens. I'll wait till September opens, see what happens. And then I might look to pack up the bags. I don't know, at least for a little bit. I might. I'm glad that I took profit at the all-time high on Ethereum on my leverage position. I told you guys that was one of the worst feelings to do. Like, it feels like it's going to go higher. I feel like I shouldn't do this. It feels bad. Aged well, as that always seems to do. I wish I would have closed more, right? But this is a great time to kind of internalize this idea of layering, taking profits at predetermined prices, even if it feels bad, following through with it, sticking to the plan. Man. Bam. Sheesh. It's Friday, everybody. It's Friday. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate everybody tuning in today. I think I'm just going to cut it short. We're going to be live again on Monday. Maybe we'll be live over the weekend. We will see, because things are likely to get interesting, at least on Monday's open. You better believe we'll be live. I appreciate you tuning in. Please join our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. Please, please, please sign up with PYTH. You've seen me trading live with them over the course of many months. It's my go-to platform for trading contracts. They have all the pairs that I want. You can get big bonuses by using my link, and it helps support the stream. That's right. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Come back with awesome stories on Monday. I will do the same. Appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in and being here. I know that times are rough. This market has been gut-wrenching, still is. Good times are coming. They're coming. And those who are patient will be rewarded, as they always are.